All right, guys. I want to conclude part 2 of the importance of art and expression and why I'm writing a book. I'm not gonna go for too long. I want to finish up the thoughts that I was getting to in part 1. What I was about to show you before my memory got full on my phone was not that. Was what's going to be the book cover. Okay, and the book cover. This is an outline. This isn't what it's going to look like. This is just putting my thoughts on paper. The book cover. I'm going to illustrate a poem that I wrote. Okay, I wrote a poem called "Standing on a Cliff Called Freedom." Above me enlightenment, below me madness, careful in thought. This is a poem expression of how I feel about freedom of thought. I think freedom of thought has to be rooted in something that's known to be real and known to be true, like science, and that's why I look at science the way that I do. I'm not going to go too much into that, but so I'm going to paint. I'm going to illustrate, I'm going to paint. This is going to be my first painting. I'm going to set up and take classes with Kathy Proposo here in town to do the painting. And I'm going to have a cliff. The cliff is going to be colored to me what I imagine the color of freedom would be. And then above me, I'm going to make some colors here that are going to represent to me what enlightenment would be. And then below me, I'm going to have here some colors, almost like a sea, maybe orange, bright orange or something, to express madness. And that's going to be the book cover. As part of the introduction that I'm writing. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let this conclude part 2 for now. Well, I'll show you one more thing. This is my journal here. That's what I write in. And that is a lot of my writings in there are going to be in the book. I'll write a lot. Anybody that's known me for a long time or has known me really well knows that I've always liked to write. I've always written poetry, poems, things like that. I have a deep love for the language, for wit, for clever sayings. I like that. I like wordplay. I like, the different ways to write and different ways to express thought. And I've always liked that. So I've always liked to write, and I do write here. I have an app on my phone that I also record my thoughts in. Anyhow, like I said, I'm going to conclude this. In the next video. Excuse the mess, I got to make my bed. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be entitled A Talk with the Mirror. I'm going to give you a segue into what that's going to be about. What that's going to be about is a look at self, like Michael Jackson said, "I'm talking to the man in the mirror." Great song. This is the way that an atheist, non-God believer like myself, this is the way that I evaluate myself and take a look at my actions and whether or not I'm living the way I want to live and whether or not my morality is held to a high standard. And then what I do, usually around 4:20, day or night, 4:20, around that time, I have a talk with the mirror. I have a talk with myself. I look at myself and I ask myself, do I like what I see? And I'm going to go into that. That's going to be another segment for another time. And I invite you guys to try it. Take a test of your conscience and see what you think. Okay. All right.